I can't smell cigarette smoke anymore without feeling my chest tighten. It's been 4 years since that winter break, and I still hold my breath when I catch even a hint of it. My therapist says I'm making progress. I'm not so sure. I was a junior at a small state college in Pennsylvania. Nothing special about the school, nothing special about the town. Just one of those places where the campus is the only thing keeping the economy alive. I lived in an off-campus apartment building about 2 blocks from the main quad. It was an old converted Victorian house, 3 units, each on a different floor. I had the 2nd floor. A girl named Dana lived on the 1st floor, but she'd already left for break. The 3rd floor had been vacant since September. The previous tenant graduated early and moved out, and the landlord, Mr. Hess, hadn't bothered finding someone new. Winter break started, and I decided to stay. I had a part-time job at the campus library, and I figured I'd pick up extra shifts, save some money, enjoy the quiet. My parents weren't thrilled, but I was 20 years old. I wanted to feel independent. The first few days were perfect. I had the whole building to myself. I'd study, binge Netflix, order Chinese food. The silence felt peaceful. Then I noticed the window. I came home from work on the 4th day and found my bedroom window cracked open about 2 inches. Cold air was seeping in, and there was a faint smell, like stale cigarette smoke. I didn't smoke. I'd never smoked. I figured I must have opened it myself and forgotten, maybe to air out the room after cooking. I closed it, locked it, and didn't think about it again. The next night, I woke up around 3 a.m. I don't know what pulled me out of sleep, but I was suddenly wide awake, staring at my ceiling. Then I heard it, footsteps, directly above me, slow, deliberate, like someone pacing. I held my breath. The 3rd floor was supposed to be empty. I told myself it was the building settling. Old houses make noise, pipes expand and contract in the cold. I'd lived there for 2 years. I knew the sounds. But this wasn't settling. This was footsteps. I grabbed my phone and almost called 911, but then I stopped. What would I even say? I hear walking. They'd think I was crazy. I convinced myself it was just the wind rattling something, or maybe an animal got in through a vent. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. The next morning, I told myself I was being paranoid. I went to work. I came home. Everything was fine. But that evening, I noticed something else. My laptop had been moved. I always left it on the left side of my desk, closed. Now it was on the right side, open. My stomach dropped. I checked the browser history, nothing unusual. I checked my files, nothing missing. I called my landlord, asked if he'd been in my apartment for any reason. "No," Mr. Hess said. "Haven't been over there in weeks. Why?" "Nothing," I said. "Just wondering." I didn't push it. I didn't want to sound paranoid. That night, around 2 a.m., I heard the footsteps again. But this time, they didn't stay above me. They moved toward the stairwell. Then down. I was frozen in bed. I heard the stairs creak, one by one, getting closer to my floor. Then they stopped, right outside my door. I could hear breathing, low, steady, like someone standing there just waiting. I don't know how long I lay there. 5 minutes, maybe 10. I didn't move. I didn't make a sound. Eventually, the breathing stopped. The footsteps retreated back up the stairs. The next morning, I noticed something that still makes me sick to think about. The deadbolt on my front door was unlocked. I always locked it. Always. It was habit. I called the police. They sent an officer over, but he didn't seem concerned. Told me old buildings were creaky. Told me I was probably stressed from finals. He checked the 3rd floor apartment, found the door locked, and left. That night, I stayed at a friend's place across town. I told myself I'd deal with it after the holidays, but I forgot my phone charger. So the next morning, I went back. When I unlocked my front door, I immediately knew something was wrong. The cigarette smell was stronger, much stronger. I walked into my living room. He was sitting in my chair. A man, maybe 40, unshaven, wearing a stained gray hoodie and jeans. He was just sitting there, watching me, like he'd been waiting. He didn't move, didn't speak. I screamed and ran. I made it outside and called 911 from a neighbor's porch. The police came in minutes. They found him still sitting in my chair. He didn't resist, didn't say a word, just stared at them with this empty, patient look. They searched the third-floor apartment. What they found still haunts me. He'd been living up there for over a month. There was a sleeping bag in the closet, empty food cans, cigarette butts everywhere, and photos, dozens of photos, of me taken through my windows, through the gap in my bedroom curtains, me sleeping, me eating, me on my laptop. He'd cut a hole in the floor of the third-floor closet. It led directly into the ceiling above my bedroom. That's how he watched me. That's how he knew when I was asleep. The police told me he was a former student. He'd dropped out 2 years before I even enrolled. He had no address, no job, no connection to me whatsoever. When they asked him why he chose me, he said 5 words that I'll never forget. She never closed her blinds. I transferred schools the next semester. I don't live alone anymore. I don't think I ever will. And every night before bed, I check the locks 3 times. Then I close the blinds.